ready to learn about some more planets? Today we're going to talk about Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and little old Pluto. So let's start with Jupiter. Here is a picture of Jupiter. It is actually filled with liquid and gas. So do you think you could walk on Jupiter? No, you can't even move on Jupiter because it's all liquid. Here's a picture of some of the winds. There's lots of clouds and they move so quickly that they bring 240 mile/hour winds all over. This is the largest planet and they have lots of storms on this planet. Here is a picture of a storm that's been going for over 300 years. It's called the Great Red Spot and it's actually 2 times bigger than Earth. That's a huge storm. It would look like a hurricane. This planet has a lot of moons. It has about 63 moons. This is one of the moons that looks about the same size as Earth. Here is another moon. This moon is covered with ice. A space probe right here is going all the way to Jupiter. It doesn't have any people on it though. It's just a machine that's gonna go and learn about Jupiter and it's gonna take lots of pictures. You can see our solar system here and here's Jupiter. You can see it's a very big planet. You could see the different colors of where the storm has moved around. Look at how big this circle is. We can see the Great Red Spot there. The next planet we're going to talk about today is Saturn. Saturn is famous for its rings. You see these rings around Saturn? They're actually made of ice, dust, dirt, and space. So they're not solid. They have pots of holes around them and it goes around Saturn. This planet has about 33 moons in it and it's made of gas. Here's a closer up picture of some of those rings. They're very wide and flat. This is one of those moons. It has many of them. You can see the wind blowing across Saturn. This planet has the fastest winds that go across it. They go 1,100 miles per hour. That's faster than any car could go. It's a big planet, but it's light because it's made of helium. Do you know what helium is? It's a gas that we put in balloons that make it float away. Who likes hot air balloons? Who likes balloons we get from the store? Well, that's the air that's inside of the balloon is what is covered on this planet. So it's very lightweight. Here's our solar system, and here's Saturn. So you can see it's pretty far away from the sun. Look how far away from little old Earth it is. You can see that it's a lot bigger because it's the biggest planet. Next we have Uranus, and this planet looks like an ocean. It looks very blue, but guess what? There's no water on it. Looks very pretty, huh? So Uranus, Jupiter, Neptune, and Saturn are all the biggest planets in our solar system. This one, he actually spins on his side. He doesn't spin around like other planets do. And scientists think that maybe he was hit by a meteor or bumped into something, and that's why he tipped on its side. It has 11 rings that are made out of ice. It has at least 27 moons. A space probe has gotten near it for us to learn about, but nobody has been on Uranus. You can see the 11 rings that are going around. Here's a few of its moons. You can see that this moon kind of looks like our moon. That's another one of its moons. Here's the space probe that went close to it. It's called the Voyager 2. Here's our solar system we've been looking at. Here's our sun. And way over here is Uranus. Our last big planet that we're going to talk about is called Neptune. And it looks blue as well, but no water. Do you remember? It's made out of gas. It's one of the big ones. Look at how pretty that is. The wind is fast on this planet as well. And this planet has 8 moons. You can see it's very far from Earth. These pink spots on here are clouds. But again, these clouds are not made of air like our clouds. They're made out of gas. Here's some pictures that we took with a telescope. You can see more of those pink clouds. Here's our solar system again. Here's our sun. We're gonna come all the way out here. You can see Neptune. The last planet that we're gonna talk about is no longer a planet. Scientists decided about a decade ago what a planet actually is. And they decided that it orbits the sun and it's a massive enough to have its own gravity. But poor little Pluto does not have its own massive strength to have gravity. So we had to say bye-bye to Pluto, and he's now called a dwarf planet. It's an icy planet. And an interesting fact about Pluto is that we don't have any actual pictures of Pluto. It is just paintings that we have. This is a painting that an artist drew of Pluto. It's about 4.6 billion miles away. In 206 years, it will cross an orbit and it could touch Neptune. It has 1 moon, but it's about half the size. You can see here a picture of its core. Here it is on the orbit, and you can see where it moves around the sun. Here's Pluto and Neptune going to cross right around there. Here's the sun, and here's Pluto. So maybe in 200 years we might have a better idea what Pluto looks like, but as of right now we don't have any pictures of it. So he's no longer one of our planets, but he's often one of the most talked about planets because it was very hard for our scientists to decide that he was not going to be a planet anymore, that he was going to have his own name called a dwarf planet, because he wasn't massive enough to have his own gravity. So we have our solar system, and these are our 8 planets that we've learned about. And then we have little old Pluto that no one will ever forget, and he's the dwarf planet.